It is Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. I am out here outside, and I noticed like a man over there with his 3 kids. I'm assuming they're his, I don't know. He could be babysitting. But they're just having a good time. And I am here. I've had a couple of dates and I am satisfied. Oh, I was talking about the dates. Like, oh my God. My brain. Okay. Some nutritionists say you're supposed to eat at least 3 dates, not per day, because obviously the sugar level, depending on your insulin levels, the sugars could be too high. But they're a healthy option. But if you're cutting out sugars like honey and other natural sugars, or you should be cutting out bad sugars, dates are a good substitute. So for me, once in a while I buy the box, but I try not to go through it too fast because that'll be bad. But this is my second date, and I'm gonna have my third one after I eat my meal, and I'll be good to go. And the problem with these dates for me is that I have 3 cavities, so I have to be careful which side I'm chewing on, otherwise I feel the nerve literally all the way up here, and then the other nerve, it goes like up like this, and I feel it up to here, and then the third one is like down, and it travels like, oh my God, the sensitivity with my teeth when it comes to sugar, which is honestly a good wake-up call, because I shouldn't even be eating lots of sugars anyway, which I don't. But the natural sugar ones, they still hurt a lot. Yeah, I like me some dates. I also, one day in, where was I? In Malaysia, I went into a authentic Turkish baklava. I don't know how to say that word. Baklava, I don't know. But an authentic Turkish baklava house. And the saddest thing was, we were going to go on the next boat. The guy was like, oh, I teach classes to people that want to learn how to make them. And honestly, I know gluttonous is a sin, but some foods from around the world, my body is just like, and I just want to eat everything. And so in the store, we ended up buying a bunch of stuff, but the amount of sugar I had that day, I don't think in the history of my life, maybe when I was a kid, I had that much sugar. Like, it was bad. And because at that time I had hypoglycemia, I would get a few sugared items and eat them, and then I would feel better. By that day, I could have ended up in the hospital. But we ended up taking the boat, and then I never got to learn how to make baklavas. But when it comes to dates and baklavas, they're the only 2 things that the sugar levels I can eat, and they won't bother me as much. In small quantities though. So we're out here, and yeah, I finished my 2K run, and I want to do some earthing. I forgot to take off my shoes, so let's do that now. We'll do some earthing, and then we'll do some, but to be honest, the best time to do earthing is, or the best, it's always a good time to earth, but the best place to do it is under trees where the moss is like fresh, because this grass, one, is too dry. And nowadays in these cities, you never know, like there's freaking needles everywhere, but that's just a chance to take when you go on public ground. Yeah, so the best place to earth is under the tree. I'm gonna walk towards the tree and walk for a little bit. Then when I'm done, I'm supposed to go home, make my supper like a big kid should, and then I have gift certificates to restaurants, you guys. That's the one thing I love about the holidays, is that I got so many gift cards, and I'm out here always eating in restaurants. But at the same time, I watch what I eat so that it's not overdone, because I hate eating too much salt, too much oils, too much sugar. But when I cook for myself, it's like the best, because I get to control what I make. And generally I eat the same thing over and over. And I think that's why I get excited when other people cook, because I'm like, I get a variety. And that's why I keep my diet kind of strict to what I have. And then when I'm in other places, that's where I can splurge on what I eat. But anywho, if you didn't listen to my podcast from Monday, I talk about a lot of things that I didn't go in depth with them, because obviously there's a lot to talk about when it comes to like health and wellness and living a pure holistic life. But nowadays there's no such thing as purity in certain things that you do, because the earth itself is not as pure, but we can only try to live as close as we can to it. But the podcast is out there. I named it Victorious, because your health and your wellness is your victory. And yeah, go and watch it. And the name, because I always pick an English word and another language word. I picked the word victorious, and then I translated it into Shona. It's a South African language. And then I loved it. It said it was Anokunda. And I was like, it sounds like anaconda, so people can actually remember it. And so victorious is Anokunda in the language of Shona. I'm obsessed with South African languages, man. But yeah, that's just my spiel for today. And I'm gonna be out here for a bit. I just wanted to bring you so you can experience my little afternoon. And then, oh, speaking of victory, I cleaned my room. Oh my God, I cleaned my room. It took 2 hours because I had to go through paperwork, and I hate paperwork. Like, I don't know how people keep files and files and books in their houses, but I'm a minimalist and I do not like hoarding stuff. And then, speaking of hoarding, I noticed that I have a lot of stuff from traveling, and I need to find a way to either file it or get rid of it. And majority of my stuff is literally just from travel or gifts from people. So please stop giving me things. Nowadays, I only take money and your presents. That's all that matters. But money first and then your presents after. I'm kidding. We'll do presents first. But if you got money, bring it too. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff from you guys. And thank you so far, but no more. Because I don't know about people, but some people don't like throwing stuff out that are gifts. I also don't like keeping things. But a part of me, because I was a refugee child for so long, I actually don't have anything from before I was 10. Like, it kind of sucks, because I'm like, I have nothing from before I was 10 years old. I remember when I left Africa, I wanted to keep 2 coins. Luckily, I still have them. I think those are the only 2 things I have from when I was 9 and 10. Everything else is gone. And but I have memories, good and bad. So yeah, please, no more gifts. Just give me your presents. We can take pictures. I like taking pictures and videos, and we can print those pictures, and those can be our memories. I love people. I say that as I'm sitting here by myself, but I also love my peace of mind more than people. So, but I still do like people. It's just that I know biology tells us that we're supposed to be around other people, but I'm like, I'd rather be by myself. And with that said, when I'm with other people, it's just a nice little like boost of socialness that I'm supposed to have, I guess, according to being human. But I can only imagine another world where we could just be by ourselves, and that would be okay until you really need to be with people. Because nowadays some people make it a problem, like, oh, if you're by yourself all the time, you're gonna have this and this problem. And I'm like, majority of my problems have come because of people, like, let's face it. Yeah, so I love when I see monasteries and there's monks in there and they're by themselves. I don't know what kind of like vow of life you have to take to become a monk. First of all, I've lived social enough and I know I can't do it. But once I have like let's say if I got all my bills paid and my house paid and all that, even if I don't, like, I just want to live kind of like a lonely life with my brain, because I feel like if you have your brain and you have constant training, you can't really be alone. I don't think that's even possible unless you're in solitary confinement, which that's one of the biggest fears in my life, is to find myself in solitary confinement. So the freedom that I want in loneliness comes with me choosing and not necessarily it being chosen for me. So stay within the legal laws so we're not out here being put behind bars. I don't know why I'm so scared of jail, you guys. Like, I love my freedom way too much. Can you imagine, like, if I was in jail, I wouldn't even be able to do this. I don't know how some of you live your lives, but I live it so I can be free. I live it so I can be free. Look at this leaf. But anyway, it is 11 minutes of me recording. Hi, you guys know I could talk forever, but we're just gonna have to stop this video. Peace out. Be awesome. Be wonderful. Be the best you that you can absolutely be. I'm gonna get started on my ground chakra by crossing my feet and putting my heels on top of each other, because that is how you ground yourself with the gravitation of the earth. Now here we go. 11:48. Goodbye.